What's up, guys? This is GenoJ, and I am a real estate guru. Behind me is a foundation, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the process on building a new house. There's a lot of stuff involved, so pay very close attention. I'm going to go through several things that you need up front before you get to the process behind it. The number one thing you need before you purchase a property or a piece of land, or even if you're buying a property to tear down, you need to get a survey, because a survey is going to tell you what you can build and what you can't build on that piece of property. It's going to tell you the setbacks. It's going to tell you how big of a house you can build, and depending on the municipality or the county, there may be some restrictions on what you can or can't do. So getting a survey is number one. Also recommend having a soil test, because there's a likelihood that you may have to do some type of sewer system, and then having that soil test is important because you want to make sure that the soil, one, is good enough to even put a septic tank in. Number two, you also want to make sure that the lot you're buying is buildable, because I've had a lot of situations where, you know, investors or people that I've known have purchased property only to find out that the property is not even buildable. So survey, soil test, in that order. Once you get those things, then you can talk with an architect about the plans that you want to put on the property. And at the same time, you need to be having a conversation with the city or the municipality to make sure what you want to put is going to be okay with them. Because then sometimes in the city, you may be in a neighborhood that's historical, so you may have some restrictions to what you can and can't build. Now, if you're outside the city, you know, and there are not a lot of restrictions, then you should not really be limited, you know, what you want to put on the house. After you've done those things, of course, and you have the actual plans at hand, then it's time to either locate a builder and find somebody that can help build you the house. It's going to be very hard for you to get prices from a builder up front unless the builder already has plans that he's built in the past that he can give you a quote on. If you're just asking for generic numbers, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get some generic prices. And it'll sound something like this. Well, if you want to build 2,000 square feet, it's going to be 120 to 140 a square foot. It's impossible to understand how much it's going to cost to build without actually having the plans to do a takeoff. So right now, the house that you see behind me, we are actually in the foundation stage. We just poured the foundation walls. We are getting ready to pour the driveway, and after the driveway, we're going to go to framing. I'm going to document the rest of this property from the time that we frame into the time that we finish. I'm going to be doing weekly videos to showcase the property, and I'm going to talk about some of the costs that we associated with the property. So right here, you know, this property, it used to just be raw land. It was just all trees. And so what we did was we cut down, of course, all of the trees on the property. And after the trees were cut down, we had to grade the property out. You know, there were a lot of roots that we had to pull because we were putting the foundation and stuff in the property, of course. But those were the upfront steps that it took us to get started. Now, after the property was graded, then we proceeded to do the footers on the property. So we did the footers on the property, we put the rebar in, then we backfilled the footers with concrete. Then after the footers were done, the next step was actually pouring the wall. You know, we framed up the wall, and then we backfilled the wall, and then we poured the wall. So let's talk about the cost. So this property is a little bit under a quarter of an acre, and it cost us approximately $10,000 to take all of these trees out. Then it cost us another $3,000 to grade all of the dirt after the trees were gone. The next cost that we incurred was actually doing the footers. Now, the footers with labor, material, and concrete, you know, cost us about $5,000 for footers. After the footers, we end up pouring a wall. So the front part of the property is going to have a garage, and then the back part of the property is going to be on a crawl space. So with labor, material, concrete, because concrete is very expensive right now, Everything that you see in front of you after the footers were done cost us approximately $26,000. So that's where we are with this property. The next step is going to be pouring this driveway, and then after the driveway is done, then we're going to proceed to the framing. I'm going to do another video for you when we start the framing, and I'll share with you the framing costs. I'll share with you some of the issues and problems that we've had, and then hopefully just fill you in. So make sure you like the channel and subscribe to the channel. As I take this property from start to finish, I'm going to be documenting the entire process. This is GenoJ. Until next time, guys, peace. Hope you enjoyed the video.